We are live now.
Good evening and warm welcome to the 807th meeting of South Delhi Toastmaster Club. Let's start with the Toastmaster International Mission. At Toastmaster, we provide sportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. There are few ground rules for the meeting. Please adhere with them. Number one, please take 10 seconds to put your mobile phone either on silent mode or switch off. Number two, please do not speak about sex, politics, and religion. Number third, please keep your camera switch on so that we can make meeting more lively, and keep your mic mute. You have to unmute yourself once you get your chance to speak. Keep a pen and paper handy with yourself to note down the learning throughout the meeting. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to our enthusiastic, energetic, and vibrant leader and president of the club, Toastmaster Nimit Pradhan. Over to you, Toastmaster Nimit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amit, for that lovely introduction. A very good evening to all members and guests on this platform. I must say the last few days have been days of festivities, so I'm sure all of you are excited, invigorated, and rejuvenated and back into this meeting. So let me start today's meeting with a small experiment. Okay, let me show you. I have a few props. Okay, I have a glass and I have again a cup, but it's a ceramic cup. Okay, and let me do this. Let me pour some water into my glass, and let me also pour some water into my ceramic cup. Okay, and I'm going to taste. This is really crazy, right? I'm going to taste water in two different cups. Amazing. This could change my life. Let me see the other one. Okay, guys, this is bliss, heaven. Now let me ask this question. Which one do you think tasted better? Was it the water in the ceramic one, or was it the water in the glass?
Water in the glass.
Water in the glass, says Mr. I.C. Pandey. Anybody else wants to guess?
Also depends what kind of a water is it.
It was
Water
purely,
is same,
it was pure water with no mix of anything,
Water
as
is
Mr.
same.
Abu is thinking.
Water is it?
Absolutely pure H2O. Anybody else wants to guess? All right, let me reveal the mystery right here. So the water tasted the same in both the cups. All right. Now what I'm trying to say is, this cup that you see stands for nothing but it's all the exterior things that are around you, right? All of the materialistic things and all of the things outside of you. And the water inside is actually what is present within you. And look at the fallacy of this material civilization, my friends. We equate contentment to the cup that holds the water, right? Now, the point I'm trying to make here is many a times, we are focused on the glass, which is the outside things. We are focused on what we are wearing, branded, non-branded, what car we drive, how we speak, how well we speak, what accent we have, how well we can show off other luxurious items, and so forth, right? But what I think is important, and I'm sure you will all agree, is what is within us, right? And from my experience, I can say a part of what is within us is self-confidence and self-esteem. And this can play a great role in your life. I was always a person who used to lack both of these elements in my life. And that is probably one of the reasons why I joined Toastmasters as well. So while getting and taking care of the outside thing is also good, but we need to understand that we need to pay more attention in life to things that value us the most, to things that grow us from within. And one of them, like I said, is self-confidence and self-esteem. And Toastmasters, my friend, is one platform where you can work on both of these aspects. Toastmasters is a platform where the end outcome will be an increased growth of your self-confidence and increased growth of your self-esteem. And the outcome of this will be shown in your work life, in your personal life, in your relationship, no matter what. Whether you have to make a pitch to an interviewer, to your boss, to your girlfriend, to your wife, every place words play an important role, and this is where you can learn. Well, having said that, let me take a minute to introduce to you all a debutant role player that we have today and a very new member of this club, Toastmaster Varsha. She's just joined and I welcome you warmly. Toastmaster Varsha, would you want to take maybe some 15-20 seconds and introduce yourself to the club so people know the...
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Varsha. I'm currently living in Ayodhya. So the Diwali was very good here. What else do I say? Like I'm very excited to be here today as a role player. This is my first time as a member and a role player. So I hope to do well. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Varsha. I hope you really have a great time. And just to let you know, if there's anything you need within the club, please feel to reach out to any member. Well, having said that, it's time that I now move forward to the anchor of the show. The anchor of the show is somebody who will take the show forward. And the anchor of the show is none other than, again, a very, I would not say very new member, but somebody who's joined in the last few months. And I must say he has shown tremendous growth. He has shown great, participation. His engagement with the club activities and his eagerness to take a role is commendable. He's somebody whom DPAD and everybody in the EC really value. He's Toastmaster Utkarsh Dorani. So Toastmaster Utkarsh, I request you to please take the meeting forward. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimit. That was a very amazing speech that you gave. I feel whenever we hear the word festival, a smile comes on our face. We think of clothes we would wear, food we would eat, savory and sweet, gifts we would exchange, the places we would visit, and the things we would do, meet our friends, Diwali parties, and whatnot. The festivals of Navratri, Dashera, Durga Puja, Diwali, Bhaiya Dooj, Chhat Puja, Guru Nanak Jayanti, Halloween, Christmas, New Year. This is rightly the season of festivals. And the amount of joy and happiness we get from these festivals is boundless. But the one that is closest to our hearts is Diwali. The festival of lights, our very own Diwali, is always the much anticipated festival of the year. It's time of the year when the whole country and the whole world shimmers and glimmers as streets brim with stalls of gifts, candles, diyas, and of course, shopping and huge discounts on our favorite brands. Let's talk about the history of Diwali and the origins. When the legend Lord Ram, his wife Sita, and his brother Lakshman were returning to Ayodhya, which was their kingdom in northern India, from exile of 14 years after defeating Ravan, the evil king of Lanka. In victorious celebration of the return of their king, the people of Ayodhya started lighting up their pathways with diya to celebrate the triumph of good over evil. Time for ourselves to go for holidays. For some of us, it's time to reflect on ourselves, understand ourselves better, and work on our relationships. Personally, this Diwali has been very special and meaningful to me. I was able to enjoy to the fullest because in the previous Diwalis, I used to study because I always had one exam or the other. I hope that everyone had an amazing time during these previous days. We should feel immensely grateful to have this opportunity to celebrate this with each other. Now, moving on to the meeting. For the benefit of the guests and also for the members, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 rounds. The first is the prepared speech, where the members will be delivering their speeches. The second is the table topic session. and the third is the evaluation round. Now, I would like to call upon the very fluent and the very convincing general evaluator, Toastmaster Arushi, to explain her role and her amazing team of evaluators. When I asked her what did she like about Diwali or the holiday festival, she said the best thing about the festivities is it puts a speed breaker into the routine of life and helps you live the slow life with food, family, and the rest. And I also asked if she had an imaginary power, what's the one thing she liked to change about the festival of season? She said that I would like to make it mandatory to plant a tree by each citizen once a year. Over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Thank you for introducing me. And the best part about Toastmaster Utkarsh is that he does all his roles with so much enthusiasm and fervor. He's also donning a kurta because he's the TMOD, and the theme for today is, of course, festivals. So thanks for leading by example, Utkarsh, and you're doing a great job as always. Now, to explain my role better, I am the general evaluator for today's meeting. So everything in life requires preparation and somebody who's there backing up, making sure that an event is sailing smoothly. So me and my team today are going to ensure that this 2-hour meeting, everything is taken care of. Any areas where we can improve, anything that any member should take care of going forward, we are there to lend you all that support. So towards the end of the meeting, I will give a general evaluation for the entire meeting. However, there will be a few role players who would be assisting me in particular things. And with that, I'd like to introduce the first role player, which is our timer for the day, Toastmaster Gauri.
Thank you, Madam G. A very good evening, all. I'm Toastmaster Gauri, timer of the day. So in tag team, I am responsible to keep an tab on timing of every speaker. I'll also alert every speaker about their time limit by showing the cards or screen like this: green, yellow, or amber, red. So I'll show green at the time limits. So we have 3 segments today's meeting. First is prepared speeches, where every speaker will have 5 to 7 minutes. I'll be showing green at 5, amber at 6, and red at 7. And 30-second grace period will be there for upper limit and lower limit. The second segment will be second segment will be table topics. Total will be 15 minutes. Every speaker will have 1 to 2 minutes. I'll be showing green at 1, amber at 1.5, and red at 2. And 30-second grace period will be there in upper limit only. And third evaluation segment, every evaluator or auxiliary role player will have 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be showing green at 2, amber at 2.5, and red at 3. And 30-second grace period will be there at upper and lower limit. I'll present my report at evaluation segment. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Gauri, for keeping time for today's meeting and explaining your role. So I would now like to call upon our next role player, our very dear VP Education and our counter for today's meeting, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. Good evening, everyone, once again. So today, as our counter, my role would be to note down the filler sound, filler words, crutch sounds, pause fillers during these speeches of while you present your speeches. So I will also note down the overused word like and, so, like, and, etc. And I will also note down the long pauses you will take during your speeches. I will present my report once called upon by the general evaluator in the evaluation section. Over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Amit. Moving on, I would now like to introduce the grammarian for the day, which is none other than Toastmaster Megha, She is the female brand ambassador of fitness of South Delhi Toastmasters. So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Toastmaster Megha.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Arushi. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, idiom of the day. For today's meeting, the word is gregarious, which means liking to be with other people, sociable. An example of using the word is, Emma is a gregarious, outgoing sort of person. The idiom of the day is, like a dog with two tails, which means to look and be very happy, to be tremendously happy. An example would be, when his first child was born, Isaac was like a dog with two tails. Each speaker is encouraged to use word and idiom of the day, and all members to give a thumbs up in the chat box every time word and idiom of the day is used. I'll give grammarian's report as well as report on usage of word and idiom of the day when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Megha, for introducing us with the word of the day, idiom of the day, and what role you're playing for today's meeting. Last but not the least, we have another role player who's going to be the ears of the meeting, and the role is that of a listener. And please welcome Toastmaster Varsha in her debutante role today as the listener. Over to you, Varsha.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So today I'll be playing the role of a listener. One of my biggest responsibility today is to practice myself the art of listening as best as I can, and also sort of motivate the people who are attending to do the same. Now, as the role suggests, I will be noting down relevant and interesting and maybe even funny pieces of information throughout the meeting spoken by the speakers, and then I will be having an interactive session by the end of the meeting. So we can have a competition. I am afraid I don't have a prize to offer today. I'll have it next time, but today we can have a competition and just see whoever wins as a listener. Also, before handing over, I would like to give 2 tips for better listening in today's meeting. First would be to take 10 seconds after every speech to sort of summarize, and even it's better if you write down the key essence of the speakers so you can understand what they spoke. And second would be to just listen without judgment, be very open, don't apply your own judgment, be very open to whatever the content is being present. That is it for my description. I will hand over to Arushi. That's all.
Thank you, Toastmaster Varsha. Now I shall be handing over to the anchor of the day, who's the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. You are doing an amazing job. Humor is the sunshine of the mind. I would like to call upon the very gregarious Toastmaster Abu to play what I feel is one of the most challenging role, the role of joke master. Before handing over, I would like to ask Toastmaster Abu, if one thing you could change about the festival season for good, what would it be?
That's a very interesting question, Utkarsh. I would rather, and that this is related to my joke as well, wherein to understand the real meeting, we should not get bombarded with the marketing strategy behind it. There's so much of marketing, so much of advertisement that, when you told me, it was, it was very nostalgic that I remembered, okay, this is the reason why Diwali is celebrated. Majority of us are celebrating, we don't know what we are celebrating. And when you know the essence, it makes you very humbled as a person. So for me, it would be very important to go back to the roots, understand why the festival is there, rather than feeling slaves to the marketing gimmick that's everywhere.
Over to you, Toastmaster Abu.
Thank you so much, Utkarsh. One of the things that really interests me a lot is the different ways of thinking. Recently, I have been researching a lot about what are the different, and I came to know we have got creative style, abstract, analytical, curious, multiple. And I was thinking about what makes a person analytical, or as to how would you come to know that a person is analytical thinker. And then I came across this particular article, and that was like, wow, this is an amazing article. So this girl, she has posted, and this girl had written, I want to marry a rich guy. Okay. And this is what she had written. The title subject line was, what should I do to marry a rich guy? I'm going to be honest of what I'm going to say here. I'm 25 this year. I'm very pretty, have style and good taste. I wish to marry a guy with 100 crores annual salary or above. You might say that I'm greedy, but an annual salary 2 crore is considered only as middle class nowadays. My requirement is not high. Is there anyone in this forum who has an income of 100 crore annual salary? Are you all married? So this was the article that was written by this girl. Now, guess what? Who happened to respond to this particular article? It was none other than Mukesh Ambani. And this is what Mukesh Ambani had to write. Mukesh Ambani had written, Dear Miss Pooja, I have read your post with great interest. Guess there are a lot of girls out there who have similar questions like yours. Please allow me to analyze your situation as a professional investor. My annual income is more than 100 crores, which meets your requirement. So I hope everyone believes that I'm not wasting my time here. From the standpoint of a business person, it is a bad decision to marry you. The answer is very simple. So let me explain. Put the details aside. What you are trying to do is an exchange of beauty and money. Person A provides beauty and person B pays for it, fair and square. However, there's a deadly problem here. Your beauty will fade, but my money will not be gone without any good reason. The fact is my income might increase from year to year, but you can't be prettier a year after year. Hence, from the viewpoint of an economist, I'm an appreciation asset and you are a depreciation asset. It's not just normal depreciation, but exponential depreciation. If that is your only asset, your value will be much worse than 10 years later. By the term we use in Wall Street, every trading has a position during which you is use a trading position. If the trade value dropped, we will sell it, and it is not a good idea to keep it for a long term. Same goes with the marriage that you wanted. It might be cruel to say this, but in order to make a wiser decision, any asset with greater depreciation value will be sold or leased. Anyone with over 100 crore annual income is not a fool. We would only date you, but will not marry you. I would advise that you forget looking for any clues to marry a rich guy. And by the way, you could make yourself to become a rich person with 100 crore annual income. This has better chance than finding a rich fool. Hope this really helps. Signed, Mukesh Ambani. So this was a very analytical mindset that I thought that Mukesh Ambani had. Over to you, Utkarsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. It was really very humorous. Now, we would move on to the most awaited part of our meeting, the prepared speech section. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Cheryl, the most graceful, she will be attempting her speech today. And for that, I would like to call upon her evaluator, Toastmaster Rohan, for read out the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Utkarsh. Toastmaster Cheryl will be delivering her project 3 of level 2. The project is called Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring, and the purpose of the project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring, and the purpose of this particular speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Timer, please note, time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. Wishing Toastmaster Cheryl all the very best. Back to you, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rohan. Now, when I asked Toastmaster Cheryl what did she like the best about this festive season, she said that the best thing about Diwali is the bond we share with our neighbors, with our friends, and with our family. And if given an opportunity, what would she like to change about the festivals? She said, I wouldn't change a thing about the festival season because it is filled with such joy, happiness, and light. Her speech title, Toastmaster Cheryl, Two ways to success. Two ways to success. Toastmaster Cheryl, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsh, for a wonderful introduction. Two ways to success. Hello, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Since our very first step, when we started learning how to walk on our own, we have been mentored all along through our lives by our parents, by our siblings, by our teachers, by our friends, and etc. We continuously are being mentored by the nature around us. That helps us show things and understand them. The nature of life is based on two-way success. We see and learn, and when we are pro in a subject, we pass on our teachings through mentoring. Toastmasters has been that point in my life when I was searching for confidence in speaking. I was automatically synced to Toastmasters. The people here who help each other grow and help each other reach that excellence is recommendable. If you ask me what is that very striking memory or experience you have learned from Toastmasters, to that I would answer, every meeting is a level up for me. Just like those console games, you start playing. When you start playing, it's a bit tricky, but gradually you get hold of it, and you are not defeatable by any cousin or any friends. In Toastmasters, every role is accountable. Is it helps us mentor us to each and every next level, and it helps us to become the best each and every time we perform. Also, when I talk about seeking mentorship from every member, every member here and around us has a different way of thinking, and thinking is one way of seeing different perspectives of the world, and also displaying it through communication or speech. That helps us an individual to take in account those tips and wonderful perspectives of thinking and speech. So I have 3 points I want to share how I seek mentorship from everyone in Toastmasters. First, look for the tone of voice, which helps us structurize the delivery of a speech. The second one is how to take questions and be very subtle about the questions. The third, how to involve everyone in your own speech. Be it strong quotes and phrases that interest people around us, be it those happy greetings before you start the speech, be it those small quizzes which indulges each and every audience to participate. These are some beautiful aspects which I'll be taking away from Toastmaster mentorship. And I also realized I love being the change I wanted to see. My shyness melted, and I have the confidence in voicing my beliefs and opinions. Communication with others became a passion. Through mentoring experience, I have become more confident in myself. And the best part is I have forged a valuable relationship with mentorship with Toastmasters that I will always cherish. Being able to learn also requires to be a good mentee. I want to share some points which talks about how we can open our horizons and be a good mentee, where we require those tips and how we can learn a particular skill. The first one is, remember your mentee is a volunteer. First off,
It's important to understand your mentor is volunteering. They have more experience in a field and they're taking out time from their own schedule to help you develop and grow. The second one is take responsibility for your own learning. Your mentor cannot do everything for you. They can only give you tools and guidance. You must be willing to take charge of your own learning by asking questions and actively participating in conversations to become a good mentee. The third one is to develop trust. Your mentorship does not automatically establish trust between you and your mentor. You need to develop and nurture it constantly. The fourth one is take appropriate risks. Your mentorship offers the opportunity to have someone else push you to the limits. They have you from remove your barriers, pull you out of your comfort zones. Do not fight those things. Leaving your comfort zone is often where the real work happens. Try new things and allow yourself out there to make mistakes and learn more. The last one is be flexible and learn. A mentorship can be amazing and productive in a way to improve yourself. Take advantage of those mentorship relationship and learn as much as you can, constantly aware of ways yourself and the relationship. Flexibility will always help you become a better mentee in regard of any skill you want to learn in life. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster Utkarsh.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cheryl. That was really very nice, very well presented speech. Now I would like all the members to take 30 seconds and provide Toastmaster Cheryl with your valuable feedback in her personal chat. While we do that, I would like to share a fact about Diwali. So I think that most of you must be knowing that Diwali falls in the Hindu calendar month of Kartik to enjoy the festival of lights, which occurs on an Amavasya, that is a moonless night. And that is why the lights are placed on the walls and entrance of all houses to welcome Lord Sri Ram. Timer, you can tell us when the 30 seconds are over. Okay. So thank you, Toastmaster Gauri. Now moving on to the second speaker, that would be Toastmaster Charmin. The second speaker, the very bright and gifted Toastmaster Charmin. For that, to evaluate her speech, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Nimit, her evaluator, to read out the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Nimit.
Right. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, all. The speaker will be delivering Level 4 Project 2 from Pathways Persuasive Influence. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about and practice facilitating a question and answer session. The purpose of this speech is for the member to practice delivering an informative speech and running a well-organized question and answer session. The member is responsible for organizing time, so there is adequate opportunity for both. I wish the speaker all the very best. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimit. That was very crisp. Now, about Toastmaster Charmin, I asked her what did she love the best about the Diwali, the festivals. She said that she loves decorating the house and spending time with the people around us. I asked her if she had the imaginary power to change anything about the festivals. She said she will limit the number of crackers per person and the sound of pollution. Toastmaster Charmin, myths about reading. Toastmaster Charmin, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsh, and congratulations to you too on your debutant role. Hello, everyone, and good evening. So today's session is going to be a interactive session, and I'll try to make it as easy as possible, and I'll try to communicate with mostly everybody. I'll try my best. But in the beginning, I would like to share some thoughts and also share my speech. It is again just not going to be like a speech, like a monologue. It's going to be like a two-way process. But yeah, I'll take you through the entire thing that what I'm talking about, and it's a subject which is very close to me. It's about reading. But today I'm going to actually bust some myths about reading books, and yeah, let's just jump right into it. So the very first one is I don't know how many of you have heard, and I'm sure many of you would have heard this. The first myth is reading comes to you naturally. It's a natural process, and I've heard that people say that a lot. I don't know why do these people say that a lot. It's not a natural process. It's a personal decision. It's an informed decision, and it's all about actually imbibing that habit in you. Reading is not, it doesn't come to you naturally. It's not, in the beginning, it could become like a very tedious thing. And I'm talking from my personal point of view. In the beginning, just by seeing the number of pages you can get, it could get overwhelming. And, some people just could think that, why I'm going to indulge in such a process and it's going to take so much of time. It takes a mindset, and it takes your willpower to complete and go through all of those pages. So completely not agreeing with the first one, which is reading is a natural process. It's on you, and the willpower is you, and you own up the decision to basically make it a natural process as you go through it. The second one is I can't learn anything from this genre. I'll take my example, which is fiction. If I would say, many people say that this genre is not going to teach me anything, but I feel you should try each and every genre. Like fiction is one place that I don't think very comfortable, not exactly comfortable. I would not really relate to it so much. My genre would be more like a non-fiction or a autobiography or a biography, which interests me mostly. But it doesn't mean that I've not read fiction. I've read some of the fiction, and it doesn't mean that I have not learned anything from it. I've learned a lot actually, but I don't generally get myself into fiction. So not having that mindset in your head that this genre is not me and it's not going to teach you. It might just surprise you. The third one would be I don't have time to read. I'm sure many of you or many of your friends or many of my colleagues have said that it's really difficult to make time. Surely it's really difficult to make time even for some people to sleep, but it's an important part of life. And I encourage people to read if you've thought about starting to read, or it's like a you're just starting off with it. I would say make time. It's not just you don't have to give like 4 or 5 hours to indulge in that thing. It could be like I don't know, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour. I think so 1 hour does for me every day, so it becomes like an habit. And I don't have to give too much time or thought to it. It just becomes like an habit each and every day as time passes by. The fourth one would be reading is not an activity. I've heard from some people again that reading is not an activity, and it just surprised me. I mean, I understand playing badminton or running or doing gym or anything. I mean, everything is an activity. I don't really know. This is an interesting question because somebody said that to me, which is why I've put it here. I don't know how many of you have heard it, but I think it's like a myth, and it is an activity, and it is an activity which will basically widen your horizons and imagination, I would say. So interesting activity to be in that space. The fifth one would be judging a book by its cover. Again, a lot of people do judge a book by its cover, and I'm sure I've also judged a book by its cover, but it's not a really good practice to do. You should always take some time out to flip the book. It's not a very time-taking process to think about or read about the current book that you're trying to maybe on a book stand you're just trying to skim through it. Just flip the book and just see what it has to offer. If you don't like what that book has to offer, generally they have like a really comprehensive paragraph what it is about. You don't have to like do a lot of research too much. If you have only time to like skim through it, just flip it, and you will get the crux of it. And if you don't like it, don't pick it up. If you like it, just pick it up and then read it, and then judge the book by its content, not its cover. Any books that don't have, it's like a book binding and like a hardcover, and you never really know what is inside, but it might just surprise you if you take your chances and just read them through. The sixth one would be actually, a lot of people say that the moment you're starting, like the first time readers or maybe the new readers who are there, people generally say that the best ones to start off with is the the bestsellers, or maybe your Man Booker Prize ones, or maybe the Pulitzer Prize ones. But that's like a gold standard for a lot of people who are like suggesting. But I feel, not always is what you will get the best of best from the Man Booker ones. Also, I'm trying to this is my point of view. I'm trying to break the myth. I'm a person who is like, every Man Booker Prize, I will religiously go and buy that book from Amazon, or I don't know, maybe Crossword or whatever store. But from my personal insight, I feel that it has not really excited me all the time. That yes, there are times that it has excited me, and it is a book to read and it is a bestseller, but not always. I don't think so. It should become like a gold standard or a norm. The seventh one would be reading cover to cover is a standard. Like that's like you finished the book. No, it doesn't mean that you have to read from the beginning of the sentence to the end of the sentence. It could also be like that's why the reason why we have chapters. I mean the information I want to grasp through a book, maybe I just got it from 2 chapters or maybe like 5 chapters, and I'm done. I don't have to actually read it cover to cover to grasp all the things. Maybe that was it. I mean, that is what I want you to get out of that book. So that's another myth that people think you have to finish from cover to cover to get everything out of that book. The 8th one would be don't pick up it's not a myth. I'm just saying pick up a book which you're going to read, and don't pick up a book which you will not read. Just again, I mean, going back and looping it back to the one judging a book by its cover. Basically, you should actually pick up a book and just read, like if it is going to interest you, rather than spending too much time and just getting frustrated of it, that I'm not going to read that book, and why did I waste my time on reading that book? So try and pick up a book which you're actually going to finish. You will generally know if you know the genre, or maybe little crux if you read just by flipping the book. The 9th one is I don't have a genre. A lot of people have heard that new beginners, or people who are starting to read. Yes, initially you wouldn't have, but I truly believe that there is a genre for everybody, and more or less everybody knows that which zone actually you want to go to. So I don't really believe in this, that I don't have a genre. Maybe it will take time, but yes, people do have a direction that they want to basically pick. So I don't really believe in that. The 10th one, the last one, is reading one book more than once could be really rewarding. It is, again, people say like again and again, you don't have to read that book. I've heard this question I've heard from people, and they say that why are you reading the book again, twice, thrice? but it could be really rewarding. And again, it's like from coming from personal experience. If you read, those factual books or maybe those subject matter books, you might never know, you might not know that, you read it twice or thrice, you come to know much deeper things about it, much more, they have links, or they'll give some references about, the other books, that what reference they've taken. So it's like a gold mine. Like I have found so many treasures reading about like twice or thrice. So I've found really interesting things rereading the book, and it's quite rewarding. So these basically are the myths that I've busted. Anybody who has any question that I can help you out with, these reading myths, or maybe any question about reading, please. I'm happy to take that question.
Shaman, we have over exceeded. It's 10 minutes.
Yeah. Armin, I have a question.
Okay.
When you talk about reading books, instead of reading someone else's experience, isn't it better to write your own book and let others know? Because reading others' experience, you may not connect. And then it's no longer fun reading someone else, because even if you buy the book, it's their advantage. If you write a book, it's your legacy. That's why. So what do you think? It's better to write your own memoir or something?
It could be a really rewarding thing, and it could be a personal choice again. But I think it takes a lot of time to do that thing, and I'm sure within us there's Abu. He will be able to answer all of that questions for sure. Why not? I mean, if you're not finding those answers, why not write it? And it could be a really ideal thing and really rewarding thing. And yes, good point. Why not? Actually, this is like a 15-20 minute session. It's like a Q&A sort of a project. I don't know if we have time for this, but I think so. It was like 15 or 20 minutes that I've got with this entire session.
Sure. Evaluator, Nimit, can you, who was the evaluator?
No, Abu, I'm the evaluator, but we should check with the timer on what's the allocated time.
It should be in the speech objective, Namit.
It's not 15 to 20 minutes, so she's right. So the timer, sure. I think.
My apologies, Shaman.
No problem. No problem. Any more questions?
Shaman, you can take 2 to 3 minutes, because if you have a 15 to 20 minutes, then you have to let me know earlier, advance.
Okay. No worries. I can take 2-3 more questions. Anyone?
Hi, I'm Jatin. Shaman, would you like to tell me what's your favorite book?
My favorite book. I don't have like a favorite book. Yes, I reread a couple of them. I could say my favorite authors, 2-3 of them. I can name them. One is Jhumpa Lahiri. I really love the way she writes. She really connects with me really well. The other one is Ian McEwan. If I could answer your question, my favorite, not exactly favorite, but I've reread that book and I've really enjoyed it. This one, it's called The Nutshell. It was a take on Hamlet. What Shakespeare had written. He had written it from a point of view, from a fetus, which is talking to you. Really interesting point of view, like how does a fetus think? And that fetus is basically narrating a story. So really interesting take on that. And the third author I really like is Margaret Atwood. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
As Amit said, I just have like 2 more questions. Please go ahead.
Shaman. Thank you, Shaman.
Oh, we don't have time.
Yeah, we don't have more time now.
Oh, okay. No worries. I mean, I think so. You guys have my number. I'll be happy to take the questions after this as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shaman. That was really a very interactive session of Q&A. Now, I would like each and every member to take 30 seconds to provide their valuable feedback to Shaman on her personal chat. And Toastmaster Gauri, you can tell us when the 30 seconds are over. All right. So moving on, the third speaker of today is the very energetic and brimming with positivity Toastmaster Azad. I would like to call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster IC Pandey, and request him to read out his piece of objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Pandey.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsh. The speaker's pathway is presentation mastery. Level 1 project is researching and presenting. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn or review the basic research methodology and present a organized and researching speech on any topic. And wish him all the best. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pandey. Now I asked Toastmaster Azad, what did he like the best about the festivals? He said he loves the food and he has ample amount of time to sleep for long hours. And if given the opportunity to change anything, he said that he would love to go back in times and really used to celebrate the festivals with a lot of love and without any show off. His speech title, Find Your Keywords. Toastmaster Azad, find your keywords. Find your keywords, Toastmaster Azad. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
TMOD, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, you are audible. Yeah.
Okay. I quote, Thanksgiving is a time of togetherness and gratitude. Nigel Hamilton, unquote. So thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. May I take the liberty to ask everyone to write in the chat box whether what is a keyword according to you. You have 30 seconds. Go ahead. I am waiting for the reply. What is a keyword? Ruthless aggression snapshot. Keyword is a cheat code. Wow. Okay, I mean, we all may have different kinds of ideas, and you have said it on the basis of your experience. But my first keyword of today is thank you. Thanks everyone at the South Delhi Toastmasters Club, and also the people who has come here on our club and left their remarkable teachings. I have learned a lot in last 2 months, a lot. And I personally feel that I have improved a lot. So thanking to all. At the same time, you have some people who always helps you even going out of their way. They help you whenever you are stuck, you are in need. And when talk about public speaking, first person whom I would like to thank is Toastmaster Abu Shadab. He is the person who is just a call away. I just give him a call and have the solution, especially with respect to the public speaking. If I want to learn a lot, I want to improve, then he is the man who would teach you a lot, who would push you to learn. So thanks a lot, Abu Bhai, for always helping me and guiding me. At the same time, he gave me the word practice, practice, practice. And that has become a code of my mind and the second keyword of my life. Because these are not only the keywords, they are helping me to train my subconscious mind in a way where I am improving, not even at public speaking, but also in journal. I am able to handle problems in a better manner. So it's up to you. It's up to your mindset that how you can learn even from a simple thing. And you can implement it and you can improve in different aspects of life. And I cannot forget to thank Toastmaster Arushi Kapoor, who has really helped me out to enroll with the club. And on the very first day on chat, she said Azad, consistency is the key. And I have been consistent since then, and that is why I have improved. So third keyword is consistency. Also, on a request, she has evaluated my previous speech, so special thanks to that. And that was so honest. I am working on it. The feedback she has given me. I cannot forget to thank Toastmaster Amit, the man with the positive smile and energy. He has taught me unknowingly multitasking, how I can be multitasking, but focus on the one thing at a time. You can do a lot of things. You can really handle. Your mind, your brain is capable to handle a lot of things. The fourth person I would like to thank is Nimit Pradhan, because the contest chair would not have been possible if he has not pushed me every day, every minute, and just through chat. Just think, this man, if wants, he can push the mountain. I am just a human being. So a thanks to Nimit Pradhan sir. See, the mentor in legal field, he's not here, but yes, the person with the 40 years of experience, sharp knowledge of law, he has mentored me in my legal field. And when I joined him on the very first day as an intern, he gave me a file with 600 pages, even more than that. I was intern. Juniors don't get file on the first day. So I asked him, I said, with a hesitant voice, sir, and he said, just go for the relevancy. And these three words became the most important keyword of my life. Because if something is irrelevant, why to focus there? Focus on the relevant thing. I mean, if you are a gregarious person, why would you go in isolation? Right? So some of the advocates there, I was intern, some of the advocates, they were looking at me, and I said to myself, beta tumse nahi hota, main karunga. On the second day, I framed the question around the remedies. Remedies are the reliefs which we ask in the prayers of a petition. I framed the question. From every question, I picked out the keywords. I put in the keywords on the internet. Boom. The work was done by the internet then. And I have got 5 judgments, relevant judgments, just to correct myself. I've got 5 relevant judgments, and sir was happy that he has given me an independent case. Established juniors, under sir, no case. Intern, Azad, got independent case on the second day, which means I was feeling like a dog who has 2 tails. So I was very happy, very, very happy. And that day I realized, see, if you can code your subconscious mind with the keywords, if you have clarity in here, so it is just a tool. Internet is just a tool to put in the words and you will get your answer. So this might be subjective, but if you know how to practice well, be consistent, and you are open to learn, some of these are my keywords, and I urge you to find your keywords. Back to TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Azad. That was really a very well-spoken speech, and it was really heartwarming that you were thanking all these South Delhi Toastmaster members. I think that was really nice. So I would request all the members to take 30 seconds and provide their feedback to Toastmaster Azad on his personal chat. All right. Now, moving on to the fourth speaker of today, Toastmaster Aditya. To evaluate his speech, I would like to invite Toastmaster Abu to the stage to read out the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Abu.
Thank you so much, Utkarsh, and you are doing a wonderful job. It goes without saying. I will be evaluating, rather, it's an honor to evaluate Toastmaster Aditya. His speech title is Brilliant, Unconventional, and Unorthodox. Brilliant, unconventional, and unorthodox. The purpose statements are the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. Over to you, Toastmaster Aditya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. Now, when I asked Toastmaster Aditya if the opportunity, what would he like to change about the festivals, he said that it's a holiday, but we can't go out because of traffic. So let's change that. And also, Diwali should be a holiday by choice. Toastmaster Aditya, brilliant, unconventional, and unorthodox. Brilliant, unconventional, and unorthodox. Toastmaster Aditya, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. TMOD, Toastmasters and members. Visualize this, a noisy corridor. This corridor is filled with crash carts and stretchers. There is commotion as people in white coats run from one room to the other, and then enters our protagonist. Like a dog with two tails, he enters a room. 8 pairs of eyes look at him with disgust. Into his soul, stare into his soul with disgust. He picks up a water balloon and aims for one of his colleagues. The colleague ducks and it hits the wall with a splat. Rules don't bother him. Relationships go by him. He's been called a maverick and a nonconformist. Yet he has an uncanny knack of looking at things which his peers and colleagues miss out. But at the same time, he isn't gregarious. So can anyone guess who this individual is? Who is this mysterious person? I repeat, rules don't bother him. Relationships go by him. He's been called a maverick and a nonconformist. His peers respect him for his work, but don't respect him for him. And then he isn't gregarious, but at the same time, he has an uncanny knack of looking at things which his peers and proteges miss. So members, please tell me who is this mysterious person? Can anyone take a wild guess? All right. I think Varsha got it right on the first go. Anyone else? You already been given a clue, but still anyone else can put some other name together?
Dr. Gray.
All right. So this is Dr. House, the main protagonist of the fictional medical drama Dr. House. Dr. House and his colleagues solve unconventional, bizarre, and difficult cases, which means the procedures to solve them often lie between ethics, moral, and unethical. So what does one do in these situations? How do you solve a case which borders between the unethical, the moral, and the ethical? It's a thin line for House and his colleagues. So what kind of attitude should one have? Can anyone tell me?
Aggressive, go-getter.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abu. Exactly. In these situations, you need someone to send the right message. There is no time to be democratic and supportive. When it's the time that you have to save a life, you have to be domineering, aggressive, and direct. And how does that work for Dr. House? Can anyone tell me again?
Nobody likes him.
Thank you, Varsha. That's straightforward. So how does it work? When he and his colleagues diagnose a patient, he listens to one of his colleagues, he ignores one colleague's assessment and addresses the other colleague, which means that he listens to the other one. This fosters a kind of a competition, which means they have to color outside the lines to think of new ideas. And that's how situations work. Once again, rules don't bother him, so he doesn't bother about the rules that are conventional, that work in normal situations. And then, as is the want, he looks at things differently. And yet his colleagues don't like him because the way he communicates with them, which means he loves a good mystery. And the biggest mystery that he loves is to interfere in his colleagues' personal life, which is something that can be looked at in different ways. So yes, his communication style, once again, it's not possible to be democratic and supportive, but in these situations, you have to be domineering, direct, and aggressive. And what have I learned from this communication style? Well, my communication style depends on the situation. If it's a normal, happy-go-lucky situation, it could be democratic and supportive. But if needed, if it's a situation where, if it's a tense situation, then I may have to be direct, aggressive, and domineering, and sometimes that works. Back to the TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aditya. That was really a very nice presentation, and the use of the animations, I think we can all learn from that. So I would like all the members to give their personal feedback on Toastmaster Aditya's personal chat. We'll take 30 seconds for that. All right, moving on to the most awaited of the sessions, that is the table topic sessions. But before that, moving on, I would like to launch the poll. Yes. So yes, we would launch the poll. So I would like the timer Toastmaster Gauri to tell us if all these speakers are qualified for voting.
Yes, Toastmaster Utkarsh, all are qualified. If we are considering the timing 12 to 15 minutes for Shami.
Right. Okay. I would request everybody to please put in their votes. So Toastmaster Ritika, have we received most of the votes?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Okay. All right. So moving on to the most awaited section of today's meeting, and that is the table topic session. We have the table topic master, always smiling, Toastmaster Sandra, who will be conducting the session today. When I asked her what did she like the most about Diwali, she said that it's very obvious. These are all holidays, and who doesn't like holidays? She liked bursting crackers, like all the lightings, and going out and meeting new people. The one thing that she will change about the festivals would be the baggage of religion, and not just one religion, but every person can enjoy Diwali. Over to you, Toastmaster Sandra.
Thank you, Toastmaster Utkarsh, for such a nice introduction. Now, I would like the members and the guests to nominate themselves for the table topic session.
Sorry to interrupt you, Toastmaster Center. Total time will be for table
Yeah,
topic
yeah,
session, right?
I have noted 10 minutes, right?
Right.
So, the first speaker is, I think he's Toastmaster Jatin or guest Jatin, I don't know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so it's guest Jatin. So, hi to guest Jatin. Your first topic is from the theme of Halloween. What is the scariest yet the most enriching experience of your life? Over to you, guest Jatin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandra. Clearly, this is a very specific topic, and I really have to dig into my memory to find something which was scary as well as enriching. Uh, do you see dreams? Toastmaster Sandra, do you often see dreams?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do see big dreams.
I'm talking about the ones while we sleep, and I had this recurring dream in which I died during the dream. It was pretty much like Inception. So it started with a very depressing moment in which I was crying, and there was society behind me. They were following me with the LUTs. I was running. Finally, they shot me. The bullet, it split into two, and it pierced my neck. And like the fangs of a snake, blood flew through the veins in my neck. Eventually, I kept running, and I ended up at the same place where I started, depressed, and I was tired. I was sweating, and I was bleeding, and I fell asleep, and I died. And then I woke up at the same spot where the dream started. And I realized that this was a never ending cycle. So clearly, this is very scary. I'll let you guys find anything in this. That was from me. Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank
No, great, great, Jatin. Great try. Now, I would like to call the next speaker, Toastmaster Gauri, if you are here.
Yes, Toastmaster Center.
Okay, so your theme is New Year. What is your New Year resolution for the 2022?
Oh my God. That's a lovely question because I am just thinking about it. I joined the Toastmasters, South Delhi Toastmaster. I attended Leaders Are Readers Club, and I am totally inspired with decision, travel, dream, and the other thing also. So I'm thinking to go solo. I already had that group solo many times, but I'm thinking this time I'm going on solo trips in 2022. The other thing, I will work on my public speaking more and more, and I will be more confident. And the third thing, I love dancing, and I'm not getting proper time or sparing the actual time to do this activity or to be a good dancer. So I'm going to practice this also. And the fourth thing, I'm going to have so much fun in 2022 because I totally frustrated with the 2020 and it's 2021 and I have done nothing in this year. Even I think about my achievement or contribution, I didn't do anything. So definitely I'm going to do this, all things. Thank you. Over to you.
So, Toastmaster Gauri, may I ask you if we have time for speakers?
Yes.
Okay.
It's only 4 minutes.
Okay. So, I would now show you some images and you need to answer from. Can you see my screen? Okay. I think Toastmaster Anusha was nominating, I think.
Toastmaster Megha.
No, is there any guest? I'll take guest, member, guest.
Sandra, we can go with Megha first.
Okay. So Toastmaster Megha, your image is this. You can speak on this.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Sandra. So what I can see in this image is it looks like Mumbai, and there are big buildings from Mumbai. And why I chose to understand it as Mumbai is because there's this Ganpati Visarjan long day celebration there in Mumbai. So I assume this picture is from Mumbai. Yeah, so Mumbai, I spent close to 4 years, and every year this the beauty over this on the streets used to be visible. People used to dance on the roads. People used to color each other. They used to sing songs, dance like anything. There used to be a lot of traffic during those 8 to 10 days. I always used to get stuck in traffic, but then the joy of seeing all those people enjoying during that Ganpati time was so beautiful, which I miss here. Though we celebrate it here in North India as well, but then the type of celebrations that used to happen in Maharashtra and all those areas used to be very, it used to be full of joy. Thank you, Toastmaster Sandra.
Great thought on that. Now I would like to call Toastmaster Abu if he is willing to do.
Please give me 30 seconds, okay, Sandra?
Okay.
Thank you so much, Sandra. I'm ready.
Okay, so can you see your image?
Yes, I can see the image which is there in front.
All the best.
Thank you so much, Sandra. So what we can see out here is Garbha. And when we talk about Garbha, the place that comes to my mind will always be Gujarat. Why I like Garbha, there are a lot of dancing style. First and foremost, I love dance. And especially coming from Delhi, by default, the dance is Punjabi and Bhangra. So Bhangra and Punjabi are two dances. And when I got this opportunity to do Garbha once, it was just a next level experience because the way you circle it out is more like a Sufi experience. So that's one of the things that I really liked. I also liked how they go ahead and play with those sticks, that coordination, which is so important. And so that's one of the things that I like. I also like because when you dance, it's a different experience altogether. It's, you are there, you are celebrating the occasion and everybody can come participate. It is so nice to come, have a wonderful time with the entire community. The other thing that I like is if you look at this particular thing, the guy and the girl, more or less, they are wearing the same kind of dress, So this is also a very unisexual dress kind of a thing wherein anybody can wear any dress. And for a change, there is no barrier whatsoever. So people are revolving, they're enjoying their life, and that should be festival after all. Just have a great time, enjoy, and take care of your fitness because you are going to eat a lot of unhealthy food. So that's something that comes to my mind. And over to you, Table Topic Master.
Good thought, Abu. Good thought. Even I will think on this thought. So the next speaker is Toastmaster Azad.
Sandra, we can't take more speakers, so you can
Okay.
ask for what.
So I will ask the tech master to launch the. Before that, I would like to ask the timer. Are all speakers qualified?
Yes, Toastmaster Center.
So okay. So launch the poll. Okay.
We need more people to go ahead and vote. It's very simple. You just have to click on the option. We have sufficient vote now. Thank you.
So can I continue, Abu?
Yes, you can.
So I would like to call our GE for the day, Toastmaster Arushi, to take forward the meeting, please.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for the lovely questions for our table topics session today. All right. So without any further ado, I would start with our evaluation section and call on the speech evaluators first. I'd like to call the first evaluator, which is Toastmaster Rohan, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Cheryl. Over to you, Toastmaster Rohan.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. The speech title was named Two Ways to Success, but there were so many bite-sized insights into the speech of Toastmaster Cheryl that I had to note down all the learning separately from my evaluation itself. So great job done, Toastmaster Cheryl, on delivering such an informational insight into what how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. Coming to the commendations, firstly, one of the speech objectives was to provide an insight into how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. And the speaker did a fantastic job at nailing down each and every aspect and converting those into very short bite-sized insights for all the audience members to follow. So great work done on achieving that part, one part of the speech objectives. My second commendation is for the speaker to my second commendation for the speaker is that she structured the speech in a very coherent, logical flow. So she started off with a very intriguing introduction by taking us through a journey of what mentoring is in Toastmasters and delivering insights, in the form of bullet points for the audience to grasp. So that was very well structured. So kudos to Toastmaster Cheryl for structuring the speech in such a fantastic way. A job very well done. Coming to the recommendations, one of the speech objectives of Toastmaster Cheryl was to share some aspect of her experience as a protege, which I found myself looking out for in the speech. She did mention in her speech that she learned a lot in her mentoring experience, but I would have wanted to see a little more insight into how she dived into her role as protege and how her mentor helped her overcome the challenges that she was facing. So that was one part of the speech objectives that I would recommend Toastmaster Cheryl to keep in mind going forward. Secondly, I noticed that Toastmaster Cheryl was not maintaining the direct eye contact with the audience. She was looking left and right. And to me, this signaled a bit of nervousness or a little bit of anxiety from Toastmaster Cheryl's side. So I would recommend Toastmaster Cheryl, if you could practice looking directly into the pigeonhole of your webcam, that would give you command and more confidence over your content when you're delivering your speech to the audience. That is just one recommendation from me. Next recommendation is the voice modulation. I noticed that Toastmaster Cheryl had a consistent tone throughout the speech. There were some elements during the speech that are very high and low. Ebbs and flow of the speech was very rich in terms of content. If Toastmaster Cheryl could accentuate that with the highs and lows of her voice by saying that if you look out for something, say that in a very excited tone that you found it very exciting. So convey that to the audience. So that is just one more recommendation. And finally, hand placement. I noticed that Toastmaster Cheryl's hands were below the screen. Sometimes she was raising it on top, but it wasn't clearly visible. So I would recommend Toastmaster Cheryl to keep your hands clearly visible on top, or either adjust your camera to move it slightly back. All in all, great work on the speech structure, on mentioning the speech objectives in such a fantastic way. Toastmaster Cheryl could improve by changing eye contact, voice modulation, and hand placement. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Rohan. That was very descriptive, and I think you nitpicked the important points. Thank you for your evaluation. Now, moving on to the second evaluator. He's our president, Toastmaster Nimit, who would be evaluating Toastmaster Shaman.
Right. Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. I quote Maggie Osborne, a great author. A man could shoot a squirrel out of a tree from the distance of 60 feet, but he couldn't vomit into a bucket or pee into a pot only 2 feet away. It was one of the great mysteries of life. Friends, another mystery of SDTM is how Toastmaster Shaman uses her charismatic personality and conversational style of speaking and great oratory skills to create magic with the words. What I love the best about the speech are two things. Number one, the speaker has a very conversational style of speaking, which gives the speaker an endearing style of her own. The words from the speaker seem to be flowing smoothly and connecting with the audience at all possible levels. Listening to the speaker felt like listening to a friend. Agree? This is a quality that differentiates great orators. Second, the speaker was persuasive. How? The speaker spoke firstly on a very relatable topic, myths around reading. Second, the speaker gave enough anecdotes and examples from her own personal life. For example, when she spoke on the myth, from reading comes naturally to the myth, reading more than one, and every other myth, she connected with the audience from her own examples, her own life stories. The speaker crafted her speech so well that every single myth and every single viewpoint she gave were supporting and in line with a central message, which was around reading. What could have been better are two recommendations. Number one, the main objective of the speech was to have a Q&A session and involve the audience. This was one of the main objectives. Now, though the Q&A session was kept towards the end of the session, I feel if it was incorporated towards the start, say, for example, what could have been better is have a myth, talk about the myth, the speaker gave the viewpoint of her own, and then maybe ask the audience about that myth. And then you move to the next myth, and then again. So that way you had a Q&A and audience engagement at every myth possible. This would have made the script well written with the right flow and would have been strong and persuasive as well. Enough questions were not asked, though I understand there was some misunderstanding between the speaker, the timer, and the VPN, but I feel next time this should be sorted in advance and the onus lies on the speaker. Another recommendation would be the speech objective was to be informative. Now, the speaker did inform the audience of her thoughts and belief around reading very well. But what could have lent the speaker extra credibility is if the speaker incorporated facts, figures, more testimonials, charts, graphs, and every other possible form of statistics to further prove her point and persuade audience even better. For example, say myth one, reading comes naturally. The speaker could have said, do you know 22% people living in half of the planet feel that reading does not come naturally? To summarize, commendation would be endearing and conversational style of speaking and persuasive, and recommendation would be Q&A session to be incorporated and credible data to be given. Reading leads to vast knowledge, and knowledge is power supreme. Knowledge is power supreme. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nimit. Always enriching to hear your evaluations. All right, with that, we'll be moving on to evaluator number 3, which is Toastmaster Pandi, who will be reviewing Toastmaster Azad. I believe this is the first time Toastmaster Pandi is evaluating, so I'd like everybody to give him a small clap of encouragement. And with that, over to you, Toastmaster Pandi.
Thank you, General Evaluator. It was a great and powerful speech. I was like a dog with two tails after the speech. I have adopted CRS approach to evaluate. The speaker delivered the speech in a confident and insightful and spontaneous way. The title, Finding Your Keywords. He started the keywords, engaging the audience with asking the questions to type which keyword you like in your life most. He rightly mentioned the keywords like thank you, practice, consistency, and multi-skilling and subconscious mind. And he engaged with the speech with his story. The organization, the speech was well organized and well delivered. So it could have been much better. I will have a few recommendations in the vocal variety. Just I was hearing his whole speech. The modulation was missing. He is going in one constant pitch. He could have been added the speech. It could have been evidence the speech. It was modulated with a low and high pitch. And the second recommendation is the body language is too good. He's mentioning that the subconscious mind, just he's touching his finger, it is the subconscious mind. But at the same time, he could have added some facial expression when he was saying that my seniors, they're saying, ye kya karega? Like that, he could have added some smile on that face, because whenever the total speech was with some powerful, then he could have added some smile, some low modulation side. So these were the two recommendations. And in summation, I liked your speech. It was well organized, confident, and comfort level. While delivering your speech, the message is very, very clear. The keywords. If you are adapting these keywords, your life will be elevated. And wherever you go, you can sort out any problem and which is coming in your life. You can get more opportunities. And looking forward to your future. Listen to your future speech, and best of luck, and thank you so much for delivering such a wonderful speech, TM Azad. Thank you so much, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pandi, for your evaluation for Azad's speech today. Next, I'd like to call Toastmaster Abu, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Aditya today. Over to you, Abu.
Thank you so much, Arushi. You're doing a wonderful job. It goes without saying. I was reading, or rather, I listened to Dr. Jordan Peterson. For those people who follow him, Dr. Jordan Peterson spoke about why it is important not to be a nice person. When I say a nice person, the society has developed us so that we become nice to everyone. In this nice, most of the time, it is very difficult for us to take critical decisions. So first and foremost, I really like the speech today because it spoke about how you at times cannot be nice to everyone if you are looking forward to achieve your goal. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Aditya, for that particular speech of yours that goes and meets one of the objectives. The second thing that I really liked was I was recently watching Super 30. And towards the end, I'm sure everybody knows that Hrithik Roshan tells his students that you need to get learning from everywhere. Now, when it comes to learnings from everywhere, if you can get learnings from Netflix, it's like a dog with two tails. You are watching Netflix and you are getting learnings. That's an amazing job. The third thing that I really liked was, wow, what a speech title. Brilliant, unconventional, and unorthodox. So this was super duper awesome. Thank you. For Aditya, I have to give him 2 more credits. One of the credits will be the way he goes ahead. If I'm evaluating his speech, I know beforehand he will go ahead and he will send me his form. He will go ahead, give the speech title. He's so organized as a person. I envy him. That's the kind of respect I have for him. And the second thing that I really liked is whenever he comes, he's dressed for the occasion. When you are dressed for the occasion, you have already won 90% of the game. Now let's see, you have won 90% of the game. How can we make it 100%? Now, you spoke about one common style, which is an aggressive style. But we understand that there are 4 different communication styles. We have got passive, we have aggressive, we have assertive, and we have got passive aggressive. So I was looking forward to listen to the other 3 forms of communication style as well. The second thing that could have been better or that you could have worked upon was the ending was a little abrupt. The ending was a little abrupt. If you could have ended with a quote, oh my God, that would have taken the speech to a completely different level. And what kind of a quote would that be? One of the quotes is that when you speak to someone, you should speak in such a way wherein, one of the great qualities of communication or leadership is to make others empowered. Something on those lines, that would have taken it to the next level. Now, if we have to go ahead and make a good nutshell, and if I have to give him a Diwali present, so this is my Diwali present. What went well? I really liked your pre-activity that you did. I really liked how you learned from Netflix. And I really liked how you were able to meet one of the objectives. Now, I'm giving you Son Papri as a Diwali gift as well. Okay, the Son Papri out here is, if you could have spoken about the other parts of the communication, and apart from that, not an abrupt ending. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Abu. You left us laughing on that note of Son Papri. All right. Can I ask the timer if all the evaluators are qualified?
Yes, General Evaluator.
All right. Thank you. Can we also launch the poll, Techmaster? Techmaster, do we have a majority of the votes?
We have received only 8 votes and there are 15 people. So we have gone ahead. Yes, that should be sufficient. We have reached more than 50% of the votes.
Okay, can we just take another 10 seconds and request if somebody is not voted, please do in the next 10 seconds. Okay, I think we'll close the poll now.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, now that the speech evaluations are over, I'd like to call in my auxiliary role players. And the first and foremost would be Toastmaster Varsha. Toastmaster Varsha, the virtual stage is all yours. Varsha, you're not audible.
The listener is not listening.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Is there noise?
It's all right. You can go ahead.
Okay, fine. So as promised, I'm here. Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi, for passing the baton. So I want all of you to be ready. This will be a competition, even when there's no prize. I hope we can all buckle up. Okay, so the first question is from Toastmaster Cheryl's speech. She said an idiom while delivering her speech. It goes something like, you have to complete the idiom. Love being the change, dash. I don't think
that you want to see.
Oh, good. Okay, moving on to second question. From Charmaine's speech, which prize did she mention that is very prestigious when it comes to books?
Pulitzer Prize.
Wrong answer.
Man Booker.
Yes. Okay, so can somebody keep the tally? I think I can. Okay, the third question is from Toastmaster Azad's speech. Which keyword did his mentor give him, which stuck to him very deeply?
Practice.
No.
Relevance.
Multi-skilling.
Relevancy.
Who said relevancy? Okay, Utkarsh, it goes.
I said it twice.
You did? I'm sorry.
I said it twice.
I heard you say practice, so okay. We can draw it, I guess. The fourth question, what was the title of Toastmaster Aditya's speech?
Brilliant.
You can't, Abu can't answer. And
Brilliant, unconventional, unorthodox.
wow, okay, so we have like 4 different points for 4 different people. So the fifth question is from the joke that Abu told us. What kind of asset was the girl?
Depreciate.
Okay, so now you're leading. Okay. Now, can anybody name at least like 8 festivals that are in the season, that are in the upcoming season that we are sort of passing? Okay, go ahead, Abu.
So we have got Christmas, we have got Boxing,
New Year,
Thursday of November, we have got Thanksgiving, we have got New Year, we have got 31st Eve, we have got Republic Day, 26 January, we have got Valentine's Day, I'm not sure if it's a festival, and then we have got Holi, which will come in the month of March.
That is too far.
Okay,
Yeah.
too far.
I meant this like Diwali season, sort of like the end of year.
Chhat Puja.
Chhat Puja, Bhai Dost, Bhai Dost,
Guru
Yes.
Nanak Jayanti.
Guru Nanak Jayanti, Ganga Snan.
Halloween.
Okay, this was sort of unorganized, so I think everybody can take a point. I think I am done with my questions, and Jatin, I think, has won. So congratulations. You answered 3 questions, so that was good. That's all from my side. Over to you, Arushi.
Thank you, Varsha. Did a wonderful job. Now I would be calling Toastmaster Amit, who's the R counter, to present his report.
Yeah, thank you so much, Arushi. So I am here ready with my report. So let's start with speaker. Toastmaster Cheryl, she used 3 filler sound and was overused word. Toastmaster Charmin, she used 15 plus filler sound and was her favorite word, and she used that around 7 times in her speech. Toastmaster Ajad used 2 filler sound and so was used 2 times. Toastmaster Aditya, flawless, kudos Toastmaster Aditya. Then our evaluator, Toastmaster Rohan, used 3 filler sound and Toastmaster Nimit, flawless. Toastmaster IC Pandey used 7 filler sound and Toastmaster Abu used 2 filler sound Then table topic master, Toastmaster Jatin, overused word and 3 filler sound. Toastmaster Gauri, overused word and Toastmaster Megha, over filler sound 3 times and no overused word, and Toastmaster Abu was flawless in the table topic section. Toastmaster Utkarsh, 2 as a filler sound. General evaluator Toastmaster Arushi, 3 as a filler sound and is overused word. Toastmaster Gauri, 3 filler sound, and Toastmaster Varsha, 3 plus filler sound So that is my report, and how we can become better while we are presenting, and how we can remove this crutch sound and pause filler. So first important thing is pauses do awesome. We should take the pauses. So we should avoid to adding the filler sound while we are taking the pauses. And second most important thing, keep doing the practice while you are presenting any speech. So practice make us more perfect and better. And third, while we are presenting our report or presenting any speech, so we should stay calm, and why that we can use the less filler sound and filler words. So that is all from my end. Over to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Amit, for your recommendations along with your report. Now we'll be moving on to our next role player, which is our grammarian. Toastmaster Megha, over to you to present your report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. My report is as follows. Two members used word of the day, Toastmaster Utkarsh and Toastmaster Azad. Three members used idiom of the day, Toastmaster Azad, Toastmaster Aditya, Toastmaster Abu. Few improper grammatical uses and suggestions for improvement are someone used call her evaluator for read out the speech objective. So it should have been call her evaluator to read out the speech objective. Someone said, I'll be taking away from Toastmasters. So correct usage is, I will take away from Toastmasters. Someone used, I'm talking from my personal point of view. So there can be two ways of saying this. I'm talking, or you can say my personal beginner. So either use new or beginner. Both need not be used together. Someone mentioned right in the chat box whether what is the keyword. So whether should not have been used here. You can directly say right in the chat box what is the keyword. Helps is not, you can use help you. Not even in public speaking, but also in general. So even is not a right word to be used here, not just in public speaking, but also in general. What I love the best about her. So the best should not have been used here. Now I'll quickly move on to the quotes, thoughts, and words that I liked. Toastmaster Abu gave a critique of modern day marketing by using slaves to marketing gimmick of celebrations. Toastmaster Abu again used this analogy during his story by using exchange of beauty and money. Toastmaster Cheryl used this word structurize delivery of speech. I was not aware of this word, so it means to give a structure to something. Toastmaster Charmaine used like a gold standard in her speech. Toastmaster Azad, it was really thoughtful of him to thank members in his speech that I really liked. Toastmaster Aditya used protagonist as a new word that I learned, which means the main character in a play, film, or book. And he used, Toastmaster Aditya again used word maverick, a person who has independent, unusual opinions, unlike others. Toastmaster Nimit used this quote, knowledge is supreme power, that I like. That's all from my report. Back to you, Toastmaster Arushi.
Thank you, Megha, for that detailed report. Now, I'd like to call in the next role player who's been keeping time of all the sections of this meeting, and that is our very beloved Toastmaster Gauri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arushi. First of all, congratulations, all of you. All of you have finished your speeches on time. So well practiced. Let me share my screen. So this is the time limit what you guys has used. So Sergeant and Toastmaster Amit has used 1 minute 26 seconds in the that time opening of this meeting. President Toastmaster Amit totally utilized that time 5 minutes. TMOD Toastmaster Utkarsh 3 minutes 49 seconds. Joke Master Toastmaster Abu has taken so much time, but that was actually lighted and gave us so much energy. 3 minutes 10 seconds. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Cheryl used 7 minutes. Toastmaster Shamin used 14 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Ajaz used 7 minutes 25 seconds. Toastmaster Aditya had 5 minutes 40 seconds. And Table Topic Master Toastmaster Sanda had 10 minutes totally. And in the evaluation segment, Toastmaster Rohan in the first half 30 seconds, and the second half 3 minutes 27 seconds. Evaluator second, Toastmaster limit. First half has taken like 38 seconds and second half 30 minutes 20 seconds. Evaluator 3, Toastmaster IC Pandey had used 15 seconds in the first half and second half 2 minutes 20 seconds. And the last Toastmaster Abu 32 seconds and second half 3 minutes 13 seconds, and all are qualified. And timer I'm using I has used like first half 1 minute 10 seconds, and I think I'm using like almost 2 minutes. I think I'm sharing my screen and I have not started my time. Sorry for that. So I'm not going to take so much time. Our counter Toastmaster Amit has used first half 42 seconds and second half 2 minutes 30 seconds. Toastmaster Bega as a grammarian used 1 minute in the first half, 2 minutes 57 seconds in the second half. Listeners, Toastmaster Versa has used 1 minute 20 seconds and the second half 3 minutes 20 seconds, and generally evaluator in the first half 2 minutes 25 seconds, and she is continued right now and she will use more than 5 minutes, I think so. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for listening me, and I have only one advice. Please keep practice and record your videos so you will have the perfect timing to understand how much I am using the time, and I think I am using like 3 minutes now. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Gauri, for that detailed presentation. Loved that you had an Excel with all the timings. All right, now it's time for my report. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. Now, if I say that to you, it sounds like a generic statement. But if one of the world's smartest man says that to you, it adds weight. These are the wise words of Bill Gates. Also, feedback can make you bitter or better. So again, these are the words of one of my favorite authors, which happens to be Robin Sharma. So it just tells us about perspective, how you take the feedback. So before I start my evaluation, I would like to request everyone to take my feedback with an open mind and heart. Now, we started the meeting as always, bang on time at 6:30. And our SAA for today's meeting was Toastmaster Amit, who blew the bugle of Toastmasters theme, and of course gave us the objectives. And with his enthusiastic voice, he started the meeting on such a high note. And then, of course, he passed it on to our president, who always comes prepared with a different theme and perspective. And in each meeting, I always look forward to learn something from his sharing. I commend him for welcoming our newest member, Toastmaster Varsha. What we can do is also have a little bit FaceTime with the guests who happened to come to our meeting. So that would have been really good, and they would have gotten some screen time. All right, moving on to the star of the day, our anchor, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Utkarsh, who played this role for the very first time and brought a very appropriate theme because it's such a festive week. It's a festive, everybody's in the festive fervor. So he got the theme joy of festivities. And of course, like always, he brought his A game to the role. His preparation could be seen with his attire, content, and of course, his fluent communication and the ease with which he hosted today's meeting. The tidbit of facts and information that he presented in the meeting were very informative and praiseworthy. Just, so that's all. I don't think I will need to nitpick anything. You did a wonderful job as the TMOD today. All right. Moving on to the table topic master. So whenever you hand over table topics role to Toastmaster Sandra, apart from expecting great questions, what you can also expect is that she will always complement the theme by preparing the table topics according to the TMOD's theme for that day. So wonderful, and I commend you for that, Toastmaster Sandra. What I would suggest to you is to, whenever you're starting your section, introduce your role. Tell people what your role is about. And also, if you could reiterate the timings, in the interest of the guests. So that would be good. Also, I noted that while you were using the PPT, just put it on the full screen mode because we could see the other slides, and then that just helps subsequent speakers to become prepared with the table topics. So the best part about table topics is that it's impromptu, and it helps you think on the feet. So just keep that technical thing in mind going forward. All right, coming to the evaluators. So something which I noted we've been missing, in almost all our meetings, where while the evaluator is introducing, I think we should also reiterate the timings of the speech along with the speech objective. I understand that this is something that the speaker should also check with the VPN, but this is a control check that if we can have this, the evaluators also call out the time, it will be easier for the timer, and we will also get rid of unnecessary interruptions while the meeting is ongoing and the speaker is trying to speak. So that's a common point for subsequent meetings. So coming to our first evaluator, Toastmaster Rohan, he had a very communicative way of delivering his feedback for our speakers. He called out the recommendation and commendations very clearly and added example to the recommendations to clearly explain how the improvements can be made. Also, he used good words like accentuate, and it added that quality to his evaluation. What could be improved is his emphasis on the tone while he's suggesting his recommendations. So that's for Toastmaster Rohan. Coming to Toastmaster Nimit. So what is synonymous with Toastmaster Nimit's evaluation is a quote. So he will always make sure that he adds a very on-point quote to his evaluation, which again, I look forward to. And he gave us snippets from the speech, which shows his attention to detail. The voice modulation that he uses, even while giving the recommendations, is on point. I just feel that the conclusion was a little rushed because he could see the timings and he was almost nearing, 3 minutes, 30 seconds. But I'm glad that you managed to finish your evaluation within the time. All right, moving on to Toastmaster Pandi. Well done on your first evaluation, great attempt. I felt like you need to incorporate, of course, you can refer back to your notes, but you need to make eye contact while you're delivering your evaluation. Also, another recommendation for you would be to pay more attention to detail and nitpick more specific points while handing out your evaluation. And one thing that you missed in your evaluation was that Toastmaster Azad had used some Hindi phrases. So sometimes we have guests who do not understand a specific language, and it should be translated into English for everyone's interests. So please make a note of that. And coming to Toastmaster Abu, of course, his style of speaking is very conversational. It's very relatable. He would give you so many anecdotes while he's doing his evaluation, which makes his content really relatable, fun, and it doesn't feel like he's evaluating. It's just like a storytelling. What I loved about, his ending was the Diwali present. Like he called recommendations as the Diwali present, and the not so good Diwali present, which were the commendations, as Son Papdi analogy for his conclusion, which was really great. Now, coming to the auxiliary role players, the first one would be the listener. So the listener, of course, explained the role well and set the ground rules before going ahead, with her questions, and of course managed to ask very interesting questions. She also had a very conversational style and made it very interactive. Great debutante role. What I felt was the last question was not picked up from the meeting. I think you ran out of the questions, so I always have a little bit of a little extra set of questions. All right, moving on to the R counter. Toastmaster Amit carefully noted all the usage of R's and delivered his report very confidently. He gave us recommendations on how to avoid filler words, which was awesome. And I hope we all will benefit from that. Coming to the grammarian for the day, as always, very fluent, delivered her report very confidently, and all her observations and the good usage of words was also explained really well. What I would encourage you to do is also encourage people on the chat to use word and idiom of the day, so that every people are reminded to use that often while they are doing their table topics, etc. And I think you did a great job on summarizing the usage of words and quotes of the what was used in the meeting right at the end. All right. Again, with the timer, while starting your report, you congratulated all the members for being on time, which was a great way to start your report. And I liked how you had presented on one page the different times that were taken by the members today. If you could also include something similar while you're introducing your role, it's very helpful for the guests to understand how much time is allocated. So that's one recommendation to you. With that, I'd like to end today's report and hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Harushi. I think everybody benefited from your evaluation. Very useful points highlighted. A great job. The good and virtuous self will triumph over the evil and spiteful. That within ourselves, we will choose to not let our egos on the way to be the best of ourselves. In simple words, looking in the brighter side of life, pun intended. Diwali, a time to reflect on all the positives in life through our family and friends, health, prosperity, and harmony. How truly blessed one is, and the realization of what is truly important. Diwali is also the festival of joy, so make it special, especially if there has been any unpleasantness with your family or friends in your past. Shed all your inhibitions and misgivings and make a fresh start. Wish them a happy Diwali and embrace them in joy. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Nimit.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Utkarsh. That was great job as TMOD for the day. Thank you all. What a terrific meeting we have had. I think we had some great speeches today. And then what evaluation? I mean, towards the end, that exhaustive evaluation from Arushi just summed it up. Great job to everyone, all the role players and the EC team behind it. Let's quickly get done with the voting part. So I would request the timer if all anchors are qualified, and then initiate the poll for the best anchor, please.
So Toastmaster Nimit, except Arushi, all are qualified.
Perfect. So let's initiate the poll for the best anchor.
Now, I'm sorry, Nimit, for some reason it's saying you are logged in from another, your polling session is inactive. It's giving me an error.
I am anyways not allowed to poll, Abu, as I think I have a co-host, right? So I am not voting. I
am able to vote. I am launching the poll for first. I'm launching the poll for auxiliary role players.
Please. Right. So Ritika, let's do it for the second one as well, basis whatever feedback we have.
2 more people are left to vote. Okay, I'm launching the second poll now.
Right. Perfect. While the votes are being accumulated and certificates are being prepared, let's go through a few housekeeping rules. First of all, let me begin, and I would request everyone, I think we are 14 participants, to unmute and clap for our new coming member, Toastmaster Varsha, who I think did her job to perfection today. It did not look like you were joining for the first time or speaking for the first time. You were pro at it. So great job. I hope you stick around and be regular. And if there's any help you need, feel free to touch with the EC or anybody in the club. Right. So I have a few announcements to make, and let me share a few thoughts. So first of all, 14th November is our contest dates. This will be an area level contest where the winners from our club will go and compete. The news that we have just received from Toastmaster Mayank is that the winner as well as the runners-up from both the contests will be competing at the area level. So that means Abu, Arushi, and myself will be going. And having said that, I request all the members to give your best support, and everybody who's taking part in the area level, please give in your best. Prepare all that you need, and if there's any support you need from the club, feel free to reach out. So having said that, also I want to apprise you of something which is very important to the club, and that is EC elections, right? So you may know that November and December are the last 2 months of the EC tenure. We will host EC elections in the first week of December. All right. Now that date is fixed, but what I need your support with is participation. Now, let me talk about one example. Since Toastmaster Azad gave a brilliant speech today, and he spoke about, my support for the contest chair part, let me say this, that initially when I spoke to him, obviously he was very supportive, but he said, he was also interested in participating. So that's where I was in a fix, whether I should convince him for participation in table topics or as contest chair. But then I told him I need support, the clubs need support, and he was very helpful. And after the contest chair role, you all have heard him, and you know how much I think it definitely, even a single role can add a lot of value to your life. Similarly, I want each one of you from this club to think about elections. Whether you are 1 week old, or whether you are 1 year old, or whether you are 10 years old, it doesn't matter. If you take part in the election and you take up a position, it will still give you a lot of learning. If I'm 5 years into Toastmasters, still I have taken this role for the second time because I knew what I was seeking and I knew it would give me. Similarly, please rethink about it. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Even in the existing EC, Toastmaster Arushi, Toastmaster Abu, Amit, existing EC can also contest once again, right? So all of you can also rethink on whether you can take up another position or the same position. It's up to you. In the end, everybody's going to vote. And for people who are not into EC, I strongly suggest, if you are here for learning, for self-confidence, for self-esteem, for speaking, let me tell you. And I will share you, I'm sorry, I'm taking a little bit of liberty here with the time, but I'm sharing with you very honest, candid feedback. The first time I took the role of president was a couple of years back. And people asked me, you want to grow the club, you want to do this, you want to do that. I told them I'm taking the role of president because in every meeting, I get 10 minutes to talk. That is my selfish reason. There is no other role which will give you 10 minutes of talk time in every meeting. That is the only easy role. And that was my selfish reason. So obviously I work for the club as well, but that was my reason. So similarly, I want to say that everybody needs to have their own selfish reason. And once you have that reason, then please look forward towards this position, right? Please reach out to me or anybody in the EC. Toastmaster Amit is also looking for help towards his VP position. Anybody of you who has questions for a VP role, connect with Amit. He will let you know what it is. If you want to do, you want to trial, hit and trial and see how it works out, work with Amit for a week and see how it is, right? And that goes for all EC positions. So please connect with me on this. Another something, all the more important than this is, I think the whole EC has been deliberating on this and you would relate to it. We are now seriously thinking of shifting to a physical meeting setup, right? How many of you are hands up for a physical meeting? Perfect. Okay, I see everybody with their video cameras on up, right? We have been thinking about it and I think it will be implemented. Now, the only question I have is the sooner the better, because it anyways has to come. Things have improved, and when it comes to participation from our existing members or even guest involvement, it will increase if we have a physical setup, and even you will enjoy the meeting more. The only part where we are stuck is, we are trying to finalize a venue. We are thinking about the venue and commercials. What I want to hear from you on this, on this video chat, or maybe any other time on call or messages, our charges before in a physical setup were different. Because we went into a digital setup, our charges were different. What we charged you for was only for a virtual platform. If we go into a physical setup, there will be some commercial implication, which means you will be all of us will have to pay an additional amount. What that additional amount is depends upon the venue and the number of people who sign up for a physical meeting. The venue is being thought about, and I will ensure that we don't really, we should not splurge money. We should take something that's economical as well as good for the members. So we will make sure of that. But the exact division will be once we know number of people who wish to participate or wish to give in their names for a physical meeting. So I will on chat. Currently, if there's anybody who thinks they may not be willing for a physical meeting, or they cannot, or whatever is the reason, if you are open and willing to raise your hands, well and good, you may do that. Otherwise, I take everybody on this chat is open. I will also put it on our SDTM group and create a whole list. Once I have everybody on that list, then I will share in the next few days what are the commercial things and how much do we have to pay. And after consent of everybody is when we move into it. Right? I mean, it anyways has to happen, and let's make it sooner than better. So if you have any questions, you do let me know. Any concerns, again, let us know. I hope my endeavor is that every single member of SDTM says a yes for a physical meeting, contributes, whatever it will be the same for everyone, and then let's enjoy. And my endeavor is that December 1st week onwards, if we can shift to a physical setup, nothing better than that. So that will require your support, right? So right now, anybody who has any concerns, please communicate with me on chat or call, and I will let you know more details on that. Having said that, Toastmaster Ritika, are we ready with the certificates?
Yes, Toastmaster.
Perfect. Can we have them, please? Great. Best Speaker Award, the man whose name I just took, Toastmaster Azad. I must say your performances in the last few months have only gone up, so please keep up the good work. Best Table Topic Speaker, Toastmaster Gauri. Great job, Toastmaster Gauri. Best Speech Evaluator Award is being shared by Toastmaster Nimit and Toastmaster Abu. Toastmaster Abu, great job, buddy, as always. Wow, once again being shared. Best Auxiliary Role Player, Toastmaster Amit Kumar, leading from the front. Toastmaster Varsha, great performance. And Best Anchor Award goes to none other than Toastmaster Utkarsh. So today's performance, I must say, Utkarsh, it was clinical, and you set an example. Every TMOD who now will perform their role in the subsequent meetings, please make sure you are as close as possible to Toastmaster Utkarsh's performance today. He was suited for the occasion. He was well prepared. He did in-depth study into the topic, and he stole the show. So great job. Having said that, I think enough said. Let's end the night, and I thank everybody for your time today. It was great performance from each and everyone, all role players, all EC players. Toastmaster Amit said he's thinking of a joint meeting next week. Toastmaster Amit, if that's possible, I think it will really be beneficial to all. And let's connect again. Thank you so much, guys.
Happy Soon Papdi.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good night, everyone.
Picture, Nimit, picture.
I Abu actually saw very few people, so I skipped that. But we can actually let's take with 9 of us only then. Abu, could you do it with your Ritika, if you could help? I saw a number going down and down, and so I thought I'll skip it. We are the last 9 survivors who will benefit the most. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.